rant about something. Let me turn my light down. There. Okay. I need to rant about something. I need to wrap my head around how, and maybe someone watching this video can help me understand how I can have 4 different HVAC companies. Don't get me wrong, love the 4th guy. He fixed my issue. But tell me why I have 4 HVAC technicians and 4 HVAC companies send out technicians. And 3 of them tell me that I have to replace my entire HVAC unit. 3 of them tell me I have to replace the entire unit, which is going to cost $8,400. Or no, $8,300 was the cheapest one that I saw. $8,600 was the most expensive. And yeah, I understand owning a house is a very expensive partaking. And sometimes crap happens and you just got to deal with it and figure it out. But tell me why I had 3 HVAC companies tell me that it was going to cost $8,300 to replace my unit. And then I had a 4th person come out that was recommended to me and Maddie from one of her clients that she cuts hair for. Tell me why this man looked at the unit, said, the unit's fine. You might want to replace the compressor eventually, but the unit itself is fine. And looked at the outside breaker box and realized they come undone. The wiring and the breaker for the outside unit came undone. He redid it and got it situated. It cost $220. And that was purely just for the service. $220 compared to $8,300. Why? I need someone to explain that to me. I could understand it if the other 3 HVAC companies looked at the unit itself and then looked at the breaker and said, yeah, breaker's fine, the unit is shot, $8,300 to replace it. I wouldn't have thought twice about it. I would have dealt with it, saved up the money, dealt with being cold more than likely all winter. I would have dealt with it. But it's the fact that the first 3 looked at only the unit. Didn't look at a breaker one time. No, I take it back. The second person looked at the breaker momentarily and got it up and running for maybe a minute. Everybody said that either the compressor itself needed to be replaced, which I was quoted at about $2,000 for that, which doesn't sound all that accurate to me. Granted, I've never bought an HVAC unit. That was the cheapest number, was $2,000 to replace a compressor, which, again, I don't know if they were like, oh, these people are obviously first-time homeowners, so we're going to nickel and dime them like nobody's business. Or maybe it actually costs that much to replace a compressor. Maybe it does, I don't know. But to have 3 people, actually it was one person who was recommended to us, a second person that we called, a 3rd person and his associate that was recommended to us, and then the 4th person. So in that 3, we had we had 6 sets of eyes looking at our HVAC unit. One looked at the breaker box on the outside and slightly fixed it. I wasn't there whenever he worked on it, but got it slightly running and then it went right back out. So I don't know what happened with that one. But 3 people looked at it and told me that it was going to be $8,400 to replace the entire thing, labor included. The fourth person looks at it and says all that's needed was to pop the breaker box back into place because apparently one of the switches had like come out or something and the wiring had gotten messed up. The fourth person, we had not had heat in our house since September. It is December 5th at the time of me recording this. The video that you guys watched last was me talking about how we didn't have heat. If I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, it got fixed the day after I filmed that video. What? And I told Maddie and I told some other people, I would much rather pay $220 for essentially service of rewiring our outer breaker connection and fixing whatever needed to be done with the switch, and know that it was done correctly, than for me to have shelled out $8,400 for an entire new unit when it wasn't necessary. Now again, like I said earlier, if it was completely necessary, I'll pay for it. I'll scrounge up the money, take out a loan, whatever I needed to do that. But to have 3 companies look at it and all of them are like, yeah, the whole thing needs to be replaced, it's $8,400. Like, is there like an HVAC like ring going on to where they're like, we're just gonna replace units all over the place? Or is that where they get all their profit margin from, is replacing units and not doing the little things? Like, I've been trying to wrap my head around that since last Friday when our heat got fixed. And I know that it fixed it because yesterday Maddie turned on the AC and it ran perfect, like it had all summer. Three months with no heat. 3 different companies looked at it. It took it took a fourth person to look at it and fix our issue. It shouldn't have been that complicated. Like, it... And then, to go on a slightly different tangent, our faucet for our tub was leaking. It went from what was supposed to be, I think it was like $400 to $900. And our hot water pressure and hot water temperature is not near what it was before they fixed it. So not only did they overcharge me to replace our water issue, or to fix our water issue, they messed with something either with the piping itself for the faucet or with the hot water heater to where it's not near as hot as it should be. Maybe it's because I live in Alabama and all these HVAC people and water people think that their customers are just stupid, or what? But, and like, yeah, I understand. They go to schooling to know how to do all that correctly and safely, and all the more power to it. Because I can tell you now, I was not going to touch that breaker box because I'm not trying to electrocute myself. But 4 people looked at it, and the 4th person figured it out. We've not had heat since September. October, November, December. It got fixed right before December. Like right at the edge of December. It hurts my brain to think about that. It could have been fixed in September. But no, it took until like the last day of November for it to get fixed. And yet, I understand that me ranting about this is entirely a first world problem. I am fully aware of that. But I think that I should be justified in the fact that it took that many people to figure out our problem. And it was how much? Hold on. It was $8,180 cheaper. That is $8,000 that can now go towards literally anything else. To either touch up this house, or for me and Maddie to take a trip, or for me to get a piece. That's $8,000 that could have been used for anything else. To work on stuff for this house, for me and Maddie to take a trip, for us to be able to do the Ghost Chronicles adventure that we're wanting to do, to get a PC finally so that I can retire my laptop. That would allow me to get about 3, maybe 4 pretty good running PCs that I could retire my laptop with. Like, am I alone in trying to wrap my head around the absurdity of that process? It's something that should have been fixed the first time someone came to look at it. But whether incompetence or greed or a mixture of both, it took 4 different HVAC companies to get heat in our house again. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed me ranting about a very real first world problem. I'm fully aware that it is a first world problem, but I've been frustrated about it since it got fixed, and I needed to use this platform to vent about it. And maybe other people watching this video have had the same interaction with HVAC companies, and maybe it's just a common thing and everybody just kind of deals with it and moves on. But I needed to rant about it. It was $8,300 compared to $220. I hope that it makes sense why I'm frustrated. I really hope that it makes sense why I was frustrated with that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Where you're going to go to a regular vlog for the next video, because I've done like 3 or 4 sitting talking videos, whether it's been in my content room or in my car. So the next video will for sure be a vlog. I'm not sure what yet, but I'm going to do my very best to get it out in about a week or so. At the time of me posting this, I'm going to be posting this on a Wednesday. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.